Well, let's get the GoPro going. All right, cool. Get the GoPro. All right, and let's see. All right, what's going on, guys? We have this 2000 to present Yamaha TTR-230. Customer dropping off, basically saying that it wasn't running, hard to start, and supposedly he went ahead and tried putting 3 different carburetors in it. There's one currently installed right now. It doesn't look like it's in there all the way. It's like partially installed. But supposedly this looks like the original carburetor. And from looking at it there, it looks like he might have broken the float valve casting. And then we have another new Chinese carburetor over here, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not sure if anything's wrong with this. It looks like it's already been messed with, so who knows what I'm getting myself into. First thing I'm going to want to do, if 3 carburetors have been put in this thing and it still doesn't want to start, here, just show you guys. Go ahead and put the gas to the reserve position and press the ignition on. Spark plug's on, okay. Oh, we got something there. That's usually about it. I think where he was spraying a little bit of starter fluid inside the airbox and he can get it to pop on. So that kind of tells us a little bit. So what I'm going to want to do, check the spark and cylinder compression. That'll give us an idea of what's going on. Pretty straightforward. All right, here we go. All right, so this one right here, slightly different spark plug. It's 18 millimeter on these NGKs. Let's go ahead and pull that out. And we did hear it pop over momentarily for a second, so I would assume that the spark is working. Go ahead and take the spark plug out. Looks a little dirty and fouled. It's a DPR9EA-9. Sounds like it's the correct spark plug. Go see if we have a little bit of spark here. Yeah, so we got plenty of spark. Okay, cool. Let's grab our compression gauge. Bam. Trust the old snap-on compression gauge set. Go ahead and eyeball. Looks like it's going to be this one right here. Ooh, that one's a little dirty. All right. Back to this bike. Okay, let's go ahead and screw that in there. And this one's nice. We don't have to kick it over. We can just basically use an electric start. And we're going to hold the throttle wide open and hit the start button and see what happens. That was pretty good. Got about 180 psi. Yeah, 60, 70, yeah, 180. That should be plenty to start. This isn't a super high compression motor. So we got spark, we got compression. It's got to be the carburetor. So I wonder what we're gonna find here. Yeah, compression's looking good. Good compression is always a good sign. Okay. So shut that off. Bam. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we already got the seat removed. It's pretty simple. There's some bolts right here that hold that on. That gives you access to the gas tank. I can go ahead and remove this rubber strap down here. Let's go ahead and pull that back. Okay, straps off, and then on the left-hand side of the bike, there's a gas tank mount, 10 millimeter. Go ahead and pull that off. Now's a good time to shut off your fuel valve again. Then come to the right side of the bike. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and remove our fuel line here. And our gas tank should come right off. Whew. Okay, so that gives us a little bit more access to the carburetor. I want to jack this thing up. Okay, cool. So that gives us better access to our carburetor here. Go ahead and loosen the manifold clamp. And then we'll go ahead and loosen the airbox clamp. Then you should be able to kind of pull on the carburetor from what it looks like. Kind of pull on it. And probably pull on this tube. Pull it back a little bit. And should be able to wiggle your carburetor out of there, it looks like. No? Turn it sideways and then pull it out. Gotcha. Oh, there goes our little snorkel tube. We'll put that back in there. All right. So now, before I make a mess, I'm going to go ahead and drain the fuel. And on our aftermarket carburetor here, it is a Phillips. Looks like they torqued it down like they were going to the moon. Oh, sweet. It's brand new carburetor is stripped out, so there we go. I wonder what else I'm going to find. All three carburetors are bad. Okay. Yeah, this screw is pretty. Strain the old fuel out of it so you don't make as much of a mess. And then just in case, we'll get our 10mm wrenches ready. Okay, looks like that's all the fuel. So let's go ahead and crack open this carburetor here. Oh, it'd probably be easier if we just removed it. Might as well at this point. We already got the wrenches out. Be easier to work on it on the bench. So we'll crack that one loose. Pull that. Is that stripped out? You gotta be kidding me. Everything's stripped out on this fucking carburetor. How do you even do that? Oh yeah, well it's stripped out, so oh, there it goes. So there's a section of threads that's stripped out. All right, cool. Got our carburetor. Got our original carburetor, and what I want to do is basically yes, the main jet is right here, whatever this is. And it looks like the pilot jet is still in there. So we may be able to figure out what's going on. Okay. So go ahead and grab our Phillips, and basically what we're going to do is compare the jetting from our China carburetor to our OEM carburetor. Huh, that's interesting. This screw right here is loose. Looks like somebody was already going through this. And if this carburetor is damaged, I don't know. They all look like they've been messed with. I guess I'll pick the best carburetor out of the three. It's kind of silly. Or should I tell the customer to order me another Chinese carburetor? Then I'll have to wait like a couple days. Unless he gets it off Amazon. Okay. Looks pretty straightforward. Looks pretty what I would expect from a Chinese carburetor. Looks very Chinese. Looks about the same. Yeah. Looks like it's the same. Has a coasting enricher on it. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if we can pull out this pilot. Ooh, screwdriver's just a little too big. Let's try this one. Okay, this pilot jet is it's a China jet. It doesn't have any numbers on it. That's how you know it's a China jet. And I can see through it, so that's good. Let's see what the original one is. Original jet is a 36. And it looks like it's kind of clean, but it's pretty dirty. So maybe I'll soak that. I'm going to soak that right there. And we're going to go ahead and switch out those jets. Then while we're at it, let's see what they have the pilot mixture screw set to. So half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. About 2.5 out. Let's make sure that all the components are still underneath of it. Should be a spring, a little washer, and an O-ring. So there's the spring and the washer. And aha, I think I found the problem. One of the problems, oh, it won't hold an idle. Looks like it's missing. Yeah, the spring and or the washer and O-ring are missing. So let's go ahead and take a look at our other China carb. Let's see if this one has it. If not, I'll have to go grab one from my kit. Oh, there we go. Just China parts flying all over. Oh my God, this one's missing it too. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely missing it. There should be an O-ring and washer on these 4 strokes. These right, if there isn't the spring and the little washer and O-ring, it'll create an air leak on the pilot circuit, and that's probably why the bike isn't turning on. But I also want to clean out this number 36 jet too while we're at it. And I'm pretty sure this is good. Check the float level here. Perfect. Float level is good. So you basically want the float to shut off when it's parallel to the mating surface of the carburetor here. Should pretty much close off about 95% right before it gets to it. And when it's parallel, it should be completely closed. It's carburetor time. All right, cool. So choke. Let's see. Should probably check our. Let's go ahead and check the Cosi enricher. Make sure they didn't mess with this. And that all of its parts are in there. All right. Diaphragm looks a little wonky, but it should work. Looks extra Chinese. It's kind of flated in there, but it should be good nonetheless. Yeah, looks good. Okay, and there's that. This is basically a tube. Instead of having casting, they're just using a tube here to basically get fuel. Is that fuel? No, that would be for air, I think, actually. For air, use vacuum pressure to operate that diaphragm basically off this hose. So if this hose is open, you'll have an air leak, and your Cosi enricher won't work on this model of carburetor. Okay, so this main jet here, I'm gonna soak it. I need to go get some hardware for my jet needles, or my pilot mixture screw needle. All right, number 36, fire in the hole. And then we don't know what size. Oh, whoops. Don't want to miss on the GoPro action. Okay, so the other thing we're going to do too is remove this main jet. It looks like it's a 7mm. Could be a 7, could be an 8. Oh yeah, it wasn't even tight either. It's like not even finger tight. So let's see, no numbers on this one here. So we're gonna see if we can get this one right here. So we'll basically hold that, boom. And what's our main jet? Original main jet is a 125. So go ahead and drop this one in the little solvent basket, and that'll get nice and clean. And that looks all pretty good. Yep. Go ahead and check the jet needle nozzle, the main jet nozzle. Nice and tight. Should be good. That's good. That's for the starter or for the choke enricher circuit. So if this is a new carburetor, I would assume that should be clear and clean. So in theory, should just need to put those pilot and main jets in, and this thing should be ready to rock and roll. Yeah, the bowl looks pretty clean. Not too bad. Looks like there's some type of jet in there almost. I'm not quite sure. Oh, that's for the starter circuit. Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. So it's pulling fuel out of there for the enricher for the choke circuit. But not too bad. Clean enough. Shouldn't pose an issue. Let's see. Stuff works pretty quick sometimes. They didn't look like they were too bad either, which that's the part that gets me. Why fix something if it's not broken? But who knows? Maybe the bike wasn't running for whatever other reason. Hopefully, it ends up just being the carburetor. So now what you can do, I'm going to put a little bit of carb clean through the pilot jet here, and you should be able to see it kind of come out. Sometimes they'll go the other way too. Yeah, looks like it's shooting through. Hit just a little bit more. Looks like it's working. Let's try poking it with the needle. Let's see, you should have a jet cleaner here. Let's see if this one's small enough to go through it. Can't tell if it's partially clogged still or just optical illusion. No, it's clear. Yep, 125. Yep, nice and clear. All right, put these into our carb. Go ahead and tighten up that main jet with the 7mm. Boop. And grab our number 36 pilot. Go ahead and drop that in there. Boop. Torque that down. Okay, very nice. We can go ahead and should be good to put our cover back on. Yeah, cover goes back on. Then put our screws in. Okay. Okay, go ahead and do a final torque. All right, cool. And then that's pretty much it. Now all we need to do is get our pilot mixture washer and O-ring, and we will be styling. I would imagine this thing's going to start up and it should run perfectly fine. Let's kind of clean the tip of that off. That's pretty clean. Okay. Go ahead and put our spark plug back in while we're at it. Okay. Go ahead and torque that back down. Very nice. Okay. And then now all we need to do is go ahead and get those parts, and we should be styling. BRB. Okay, kind of get some of this stuff out of the way. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to turn on, or hopefully it turns on? Should turn on. Looking solid. Should probably double check those two, make sure that's tight. Yeah, I don't think they messed with the top cap. That feels good. Okay, 1 second. Gotta go grab something. could have sworn I had some. I might have thrown them away. Hopefully I didn't know it's a float pin. Probably one of my other kits. All right, cool. Found a little O-ring and washer. These are like little parts here. Go ahead and put that washer over. Should be good. And take our O-ring. Then I'm going to put just a little bit of grease on it. Okay. Ooh, this might be a little too loose. Shoot. No, I gotta have one. This is probably for like a slightly different carburetor. I like the way that one fits. That one fits a little bit better. Okay, different, slightly different O-ring. There we go. Like the way that fits. Okay. So with our pilot mixture screw assembly, spring, washer, then O-ring, we'll go ahead and place it in. I like to hold the carburetor right side up, put that in there, and then we'll holding pressure on it and holding the carburetor up so the O-ring doesn't fall out of place. Oops, kind of like how it just did. The whole trick is to try to get it in there is one piece. Okay, try this again. going up while holding it. It's like it doesn't really want to. So there are two different pilot mixture screws. No, they both appear to be identical. Maybe we'll go with that larger washer. Interesting. Do I need a special washer? Did it not have one and I'm just tripping? Pretty sure it wouldn't show in the parts diagram. But that's kind of preventing me from getting my mixture screw in there. Oh, threads appear to be the same. Oh, the thread's in there. So it must be the washer that's hanging it up. Shoot, and I'm pretty sure they lost that washer if there was one. Those are little parts, especially when you're out in the desert working on things. And I don't know if I have a washer that's necessarily big enough for that. These are all kind of about the same. So, I mean, I don't know, unless I just assumed that it didn't have one and they didn't mess with it. It's very possible. Yeah, because that's not fitting. Well, let's just give it a try then without. I mean, if I don't have one, I don't have. If they lost it on both of them, then that's kind of it is what it is. So I guess I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see if it makes a difference. So go half, one, 1.5. See what 1.5 does. All right, let's put this carburetor back in. See if we get any good luck with it here. Go ahead and connect our throttle cables to our stripped out hardware. Okay, let's see how that feels. Oops. Okay, let's see if we can get this boot back in. Hmm. Need a slightly longer screwdriver. It's the only thing that sucks about working on older bikes sometimes. Another bike not well maintained and messed with. And that's why I don't like to work on older cars, because then their problem becomes your problem. All right, cool. So to help this out, a little bit of oil helps slip it in. Oh, let's loosen that up. See if that helps. It looks like the carburetor is not going all the way in. Try loosening up this clamp all the way. It's the only thing I could think of. Either that or this intake manifold's just too dry rotted. Oh, there it goes. Fuck yeah. Oh. Okay, there's a little rib on the carburetor. You can line it up with the intake manifold. We'll check that. All right, go ahead and tighten up your clamp. Oops. Okay. Now the air box is a little dry rotted too. Slip this on as best as we can. Might have to loosen this one up a little bit too. Probably help out. Oh no, lost the GoPro battery. Good old stripped out hardware. Okay. These overflow hoses looking nice and pretty again. So if this doesn't work, customer probably going to need spend the $600 and get the original carburetor. Okay, nice. Ah. There we go. Okay. I don't know. Throttle cable routing. Is this correct? I don't think it. I don't know if it's. Could go like that. Not sure. Probably goes. Oh, they got bigger bars on it, so they probably. That makes sense. They can adjust the throttle on it. All right. Time for the grand finale. See if this thing will actually start. Okay. Okay. See what happens. Where's the idle on it? Right there. Let's find out. Shit, I'm gonna wake up all the neighbors. That's a little bit better now. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to adjust that from here. Wonder if it has a leak. That intake manifold right there is leaking. Well, I might have to mess with this in the morning. So I'm not going to be revving the crap out of it right now. But I think it's the... Well, let me just try one more thing. I think I have the tool in here. It might be in my other toolbox. Shoot. I don't think I have it here. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. Huh, thought it was here. Got so many tools, sometimes I forget which toolbox I leave them in. Let's try, could try this. Trying to fill the pilot mixture screw. So this half, 1, 1.5, 2, go 2.5. Oh, should I do it? Piss off the neighbors. Oh. Definitely wants to start. Ooh. I think I'll mess with it in the morning. That way I can rev the crap out of it. Who knows, maybe it got some bad gas. And then take a look at the air filter. But it's getting pretty late. I think that's going to be it. That's about as much as I can do right now. Hopefully we have a little bit more progress in the morning. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Good old TTR-230. Yeah, it's a carburetor problem for sure. It's running a little too lean. I'm thinking it turns on right now with the choke. It wasn't doing that before. And then when you turn the choke off, it kind of dies. So that'd probably be like a pilot mixture screw adjustment. And that little needle, that's what I was messing with right now. This right here will basically control how much vacuum is on the pilot circuit. So when you back it out, it's basically allowing more fuel to get sucked through the pilot jet. But I was kind of having an issue. Usually there's like a washer and an O-ring that goes on top of it, but the washers that I have won't fit over the needle, so I can't thread it in all the way. So I'd almost have to like drill it out ever so slightly. It's like almost like a special washer. Um, Probably won't run into that on very many carburetors, just this, whatever the heck this is right here, this Chinese one. The other option I could do is maybe drill out that plug too. If I drilled out that plug, then maybe I could steal the O-ring, or even see if there's one on it. If there's one on this one, then there's for sure got to be one on the other one. Well, maybe I should do that at least. Won't be able to sleep tonight knowing if I'm going to have more problems in the morning or not. Good enough. So it's going to be one of these. Yeah. Okay. I'll take like a screw. Okay, screws in it. Take a pair of pliers. Boom. Grab the plug. Let's see. So this one was at a quarter, just a quarter of a turn out. Interesting. Let's see if, oh shit, popped out. Can't tell if there's, no, so it looks like they don't use a, so, okay, so I guess they don't use an O-ring in a washer. So I guess the way I have it set up right now is correct. But it only wants a quarter of a turn out though. On this stock one, at least that's what it was, quarter of a turn out. Ugh. Heck yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Jets were cleaned. I mean, assuming the carburetor was clean and wasn't sitting for too long. I mean, who knows, when a customer says a new carburetor could have been sitting for like 6 months, but I mean, it looks pretty much brand new. Really hard to say. I think I'm gonna have to mess with it in the morning. I mean, it's obviously, it's got fuel, it's got spark, it's got plenty of compression, I think. Not quite sure. Maybe we can, what happens if I put the pilot mixture screw at a quarter? Uh, that's just a quarter right there. Or I'll chill. I'll make it half. Probably Yamaha runs their carburetors pretty lean. 1240. About to piss off the neighbors again. All right, just one more time. Ooh. All right, that's it. No more. I'll mess with it in the morning. It's getting too late. I'm gonna end up revving the shit out of this thing. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Shit, messed with this thing for an hour or so. That's about it. Until tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get notifications. Working on a lot of bikes right now over the holidays. So if you want to catch, maybe you got a bike that I got that I'm working on right now, you guys can go ahead and stay tuned. Thanks for watching.